We're going to do a deep dive today, and I mean a real clinical deep dive, into the most underrated organ in the human body, the liver. Now, before we start, you know my stance. I don't drink, and I don't recommend drinking alcohol. If you're serious about your health, alcohol is simply off the table. But today isn't just about what not to do. It's about understanding the miracle organ and how to literally reverse a fatty liver. Most people don't realize that the liver is a silent worker. It doesn't have the pain receptors that your skin or muscles have. You could be functioning normally while 90% of your liver is currently being destroyed. It is the ultimate martyr of the body. By the time you feel it, the damage is often at a critical stage. Today, I'm going to show you how to read the body's secret language and how to spark 100% regeneration. Let's look at the hardware. Your liver is a 3.5-pound powerhouse. It sits on the right side of your body, tucked under the rib cage, but it actually spans across the midline. If you look at the liver under a microscope, it isn't just a mass of tissue. It is composed of 50,000 to 100,000 small functional units called lobules. Think of these lobules as tiny hexagonal cities. Each city has its own dedicated blood supply and its own waste management system via the bile ducts. The 500 plus functions. Your liver is the body's primary chemical processing plant. It handles over 500 distinct functions. We're talking about immune regulation. It filters every ounce of blood, looking for pathogens and bacteria. Blood sugar management. It stores glucose as glycogen and releases it when you need energy. Protein synthesis. It builds the proteins required for blood clotting and hormone transport. Hormonal balance. It breaks down excess estrogen and testosterone so they don't circulate and cause issues like man boobs or PCOS. Because of this complexity, you can lose massive amounts of liver function without a liver test showing a single red flag. This is why we must look at the clinical signs. Since your liver doesn't have a voice, it uses your body to send signals. If you have any of the following, your liver is likely in a state of distress. The basketball. Belly. This is a hard protruding belly. It's not just soft subcutaneous fat, it's visceral fat and potentially ascites, which is fluid leaking from the liver because it can no longer process proteins. Right shoulder pain. This is a classic referred pain pattern. An inflamed liver irritates the phrenic nerve. This nerve travels all the way up to the neck and right shoulder. If you have a chronic knot in your right shoulder that won't go away, it's likely your liver, not a muscle strain. The eyes and skin, jaundice, yellow eyes, is the end stage, but look for itching. If the bottoms of your feet or the palms of your hands itch, it's because bile salts are backing up into the blood and depositing under your skin. The sleep-heart connection. This is a fascinating clinical observation. If you find you must sleep on your right side to feel comfortable, listen up. An enlarged fatty liver is heavy. When you sleep on your left side, that weight hangs and physically compresses the heart and lungs, causing palpitations, skipped beats, or shortness of breath at night. How do we get to a fatty liver? It happens in 3 distinct stages of trauma. Stage 1, inflammation. Every time you consume alcohol, high fructose corn syrup, or certain medications, you cause a micro whiplash in the liver cells. Take Tylenol, acetaminophen, for example. It is the leading cause of acute liver failure. Even common cholesterol medications like Lipitor can stress the liver so much that your liver enzymes, the markers of cell death, spike by 500%. It's a paradox. You take a pill to save your heart, and in the process, you destroy the organ that manages your cholesterol. Stage 2, steatosis, fatty deposits. When the liver is constantly inflamed, it loses the ability to burn fat. Instead, it starts storing fat inside its own cells. This is fatty liver. This can happen even if you aren't overweight in the traditional sense. Stage 3, cirrhosis. This is the scar tissue phase. Think of your liver becoming like a piece of tough, fibrous leather. Once the cells are replaced by scar tissue, they lose their 500 functions. This leads to a loss of detoxification and, eventually, systemic failure. Now, let's talk about the good news. The liver is the only organ that can completely regenerate. You can grow a healthy liver from a tiny fraction of healthy tissue. But here's the hard truth that most moderation experts won't tell you. It takes up to 3 years of consistent health to fully regenerate a damaged liver. The everything in moderation advice is dangerous for a liver patient. If you have a moderate drink or a moderate cheat meal once a week, you are constantly resetting the clock. It takes your liver 3 to 4 days just to recover from one inflammatory insult. If you insult it every 7 days, it is always in a state of defense and never in a state of regeneration. I once had a friend who did my liver program for 2 weeks. They lost weight and felt great. But then they went back to their old habits and called me saying, "Your program didn't work." I told them, "You didn't give your body enough time to grow a new organ. You were trying to fix 20 years of damage in 14 days. This is a marathon, not a sprint." So, how do we actually strip the fat off the liver and trigger growth? We need a targeted, aggressive nutritional approach. Bitter vegetables, the bile stimulators. The more bitter the vegetable, the better it is for the liver. We're talking radishes, kale, mustard greens, collard greens, and arugula. These bitter compounds stimulate bile flow, which is the detergent that removes fat and toxins from the liver. The king of greens, parsley. Parsley has the highest concentration of vitamin A and liver protective nutrients of almost any vegetable. Second to that is kale. This is why I recommend the kale shake. Blend your greens to make them easier to consume in high volumes. Medium chain triglycerides, MCTs. Stop cooking with corn oil, soy oil, or vegetable oils. These are highly inflammatory. Switch to coconut oil and butter. These fats don't require the liver to work hard. They are easily processed for energy, giving your liver a vacation so it can focus on repair. Apple cider vinegar. Take 1 teaspoon in a glass of water 2 or 3 times a day. The acetic acid helps to improve insulin sensitivity and literally strip the fat off the liver cells. B vitamin support. Your liver needs choline, folate, and B2 to fuel the detoxification pathways, phase 1 and phase 2. Without these, the toxins get stuck halfway and cause even more damage. The alcohol substitute. If you miss the social or relaxing aspect of drinking, switch to kombucha tea. It has a similar fermented bite. It helps you relax, and it's actually loaded with B vitamins that help the liver. Reversing a fatty liver is 100% doable, but it requires an aggressive approach and, most importantly, time. You have to stop the things that are destroying the liver and add the things that create a healthy one. There's a reason they call you a patient. It's because you're going to need a lot of patience to get through this 3-year journey. But I promise you, having a clean, functioning liver will change your energy, your sleep, and your life. Go ahead and start with those bitter vegetables today. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.